Hello, my adlaw kaninyong tanan. I'm Ryan Macasero. Welcome to another episode of Voices from the Regions. Today is a very different episode. We're going to talk about Cebu music, which has a very live local music scene, but has been quiet for most of the pandemic. But the Visayan Pop Music Festival, which launched the popularity of VisPop music, is back. Joining us is the VisPop founder and very prolific and award-winning songwriter Jude Kitamondo, and a very good friend of mine who I've known for several years. Is joining us tonight to talk about VisPop's return. Jude, thank you for joining us.
Maing adlaw, Ryan. Thank you for inviting me today.
Thank you. All right, so let's just get started. For those who don't know, para sa mga wala pa nakahibaw, unsa man jud ning VisPop? What is VisPop and how did it get started?
It started with an idea that I had in 2018. I was mostly inspired by Cebu Pop, which is another songwriting contest. But also during at the time we had the Bisrock movement, and from those songs, I saw the possibility for mainstream Bisaya music to go yung Bisaya pop ba. So and then we realized also at the time that there was a need to engage young people to write more Bisaya songs and to listen to more Bisaya songs as well. So because I've been joining songwriting contests and I've also been joining songwriting workshops like Elements, I thought of infusing both ideas into one aggressive campaign for Bisaya songwriting, which is now what we call VisPop.
So why is Bisaya music, I think, important to the Visayas and Mindanao region?
Na-notice ako na there's really a real hunger and need for representation in our country today, especially sa tanang kagubot, all of these trials that we're undergoing as a country. I think part of that problem is the lack of representation, especially in the region. So there was a time when people talk about the Visayas and Mindanao, they would refer to them as the provinces, ang probinsya. Like a lot of people were kind of clueless as to the recent progress that's been made in these regions. Just because all we see on mainstream media are the stereotypes. Like, for example, we see basta Bisaya, Yaya, or Katabang, Katulong. And all we hear is just the war in Mindanao. So I think it's important, not just to the Vismin region, but also to the entire country. We need to reignite these conversations about Filipino identity. Sino talaga ang Filipino? Who are we as a nation? Because we've been ready for this actually for a while now. I think the songs would be a great conversation starters for these questions.
And I know VisPop has been a vehicle for a lot of local artists to launch their careers. Can you talk about who are some of these artists that a lot of Bisaya people have grown to become fans of, that wouldn't have otherwise had the opportunity kung walay VisPop?
Yeah, we're so proud of these artists. Like, for example, one of our top songwriters is Jerica Chodrico, is actually releasing her debut album this month. We also have artists like Jewel Villaflores, who's also releasing a single, and artists like Lourdes Maglinte, who's won grand prize and now has released, I think last year, an album under Tutu Tango. We have a lot of artists who are currently producing Visaya songs right now. And some of my personal favorites are like, they did not come from the VisUp contest, but they sort of grow from that tradition. So we have artists like Mandawi Nights. We have artists like Okaraga. Most of those artists are songwriters from VisPop as well. Ubay-ubay sad, we have new artists like Jericho Chodorico. Jericho Strigan. Pareho kasi yung pangalan nila. Jericho Strigan was also writing Bisaya songs, and I've recently met this really young songwriter, hip-hop rapper by the name of Gustav, who's currently based in Siargao. So there's a lot of artists and songwriters to look forward to from VisPop. So I'm really excited that we're able to start again with VisPop this year.
And when we talk about ang challenges in writing in the local languages. I think for a lot of songwriters that can deter them if they're used to writing in English or Filipino. Um, what would be your advice for those who want to try writing in Bisaya or even in other local languages like Hiligaynon or Waray-Waray like that?
Yeah. I think ang pinaka-basic and very straightforward answer to that is don't be ashamed to use a dictionary.
Mm,
Because even myself, when I write Bisaya songs, I always consult a dictionary as well. But a really important thing to remember is also to think in Bisaya or think in the language, dream in the language. Don't try to translate because that's what a lot of beginning songwriters do. No, they what they do is they write their song in English and translate it to Bisaya or translate it to their local language. But there's a lot of difference if you will discover a lot more better ways to write if you actually think in the language already, you dream in that
mm,
language. So yeah, and then obviously you should look to your direct community for inspiration. You can just look outside the window of your home and see the stories that you can find to write your song on, and also just be respectful of the language but as well be playful as well. So there's fun in using the language, so
mm,
show the love for the language.
mm, mm, mm. Since the VisPop movement, because I think it's beyond a music festival and has
Yes.
become a movement really in the regions since 2013. The mainstream Manila, I guess, music industry has also taken notice of the growth of these different artists over the past decade since 2013. For you as someone who has been there since the beginning, what does that mean to you, and what's the significance of this attention that it's getting? I think we've seen artists like Casey Tandingan cover a lot of Bisaya songs, TJ Monterde, kinsa pa ba, si
Morissette.
Morissette
Yes.
Amon, even non-Bisaya artists covering these Bisaya songs. What does that mean to you as a songwriter and as someone who really was one of the pioneers of this movement?
We really appreciate the attention because obviously attention is the currency of a lot of our artists now, no. But since we're still pretty much independent, I'm talking about VisPop as a campaign. We basically fund ourselves, so the recognition from record labels or from music institutions like Philscap or Philpop or OPM, they matter to us because we need all the help that we can get. But I think still not enough. Just an example, no, we have an artist like Missing Philemon, who are rock stars in the Visayas and Mindanao region. But if you look at mainstream OPM, they don't know who Missing Philemon is.
Mm,
Those songs don't make it to the mainstream media's library or catalog of songs that they feature on their mainstream shows. So there's that big question there. Why aren't these songs making it into the mainstream? Where in fact a lot of the people, majority of the country knows these songs already. So that's a challenge that I pose actually for the future. And there's it shows that we have a lot of things to do still.
mm, 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 mm. And when you started, thinking of doing this pop, did you imagine that it would be where it is today?
Uh, we really did not imagine that it would reach this far. No, honestly, when we held the first VisPop, we were just staging it in a 300 seater venue because we were kind of scared that it wouldn't work out.
Mm,
But the songs themselves were our biggest assets. A song like Balay ni Mayang, which was written by Kyle Wong, uh, it really paved the way for VisPop to be heard in the mainstream media. So yeah, because of those songs, we have made it this far, and that's why we intend to keep on producing more Bisaya songs.
mm. And I think I've talked maybe to you and other artist friends about this before, but the during the pandemic, it really also affected the local music scene in Cebu, which is known for having a very lively and vibrant, local music community. How has it been for you during that time?
um Especially for our artists, no, it's been major loss of revenue for them. I don't feel it myself because I am not really a performing artist, but a lot of artists like Kurt Fake or Missing Philemon, they've all been on the road for a lot of times before the pandemic, and so they lost that revenue. And but that's why we're so happy that it's getting back slowly. But yeah, it suffered a lot. But in terms of the streaming, I think it we saw a little bit of rise naman. There's na compensate a little bit on the streaming end because people go to the streaming sites to like help them through the pandemic, I guess. So we've seen some growth like in artists like Okaraga. Their songs have been, I guess, been popular all through the pandemic. So now that they are performing live, uh, we were so shocked that a lot of people were drawn to them right now, and they're in fact going viral on TikTok right now. So I think this is all from the attention that they've been getting during the pandemic and seeing
Mm.
that they've been performing already, so people actually go to the venues to watch them perform live. So
Mm-mm.
that's great.
From the audience perspective, as a songwriter and someone who works with a lot of artists, what has been the most like, I guess, memorable feedback you've gotten from audiences or from fans of VisPop?
The really heartwarming comments I remember right now are those comments from non-Bisaya speakers
Mm.
who say that because of this song, I started learning the language, and which is really great. And it should be the way we should approach this song, especially if you're a non-Bisaya speaker. If you listen to a VisPop song, go beyond the music, go beyond the melodies, the rhythms, but look to the language, the lyrics, because those lyrics are really drawn from the community, from songwriters who have been living in a community that may be different from your community. So it's a way of connecting with each other, and hopefully, like really, parang ano, we can really talk with each other, probably start a conversation and patch things up.
Mm.
This is a very broken country we have right now, and I think the music would be one of those places where we can start conversing again.
Uh-uh. And I guess for me to just to share as a fan myself, na murag ang Bisaya music was very important in um, teaching me to love and appreciate my language even more. And most people nowadays communicate in English, and having that familiar sound with your native language is very very encouraging, and na-expanded ang vocabulary tungkol sa
Yes.
Bisaya music.
And there are a lot of jokes actually in a lot of the songs na dili magets if you translate it. So it's
Mm,
nice if you're listening to those songs, if you ask a Bisaya speaker, what does this mean? How is this funny to you? And
mm.
diba, that could be a good place to start.
Yeah, to start conversations would, no.
Yes.
So it's, I think the VisPop has been around for about a decade now,
Yes.
if you count the hiatus.
Yes,
5 years, no, 5 years ang hiatus sa
yes,
VisPop.
yes.
Where do you see it headed in the next decade, or do you see it headed in a particular direction?
Yes, we are actually like really breaking boundaries right now for VisPop. We want to reach out to as many people, not just Bisaya speakers, but to everyone. So we are continuing the VisPop contest, the yearly contest, songwriting contest. But at the same time, we are also gonna be organizing a VisPop Music Festival, which will be happening on January as one of the activities for Sinulog. That would be a feature of anything VisPop related. So if you're a VisPop artist, if you have a great VisPop song, we want to feature you on that show. And then hopefully by next year we will have VisPop Music Awards. Diba, we a common complaint of the VisPop artists is that we're always relegated to that best regional song category.
Mm,
So we took that challenge, we took it on and decided to organize probably by next year VisPop Music Awards, wherein it will be sort of like Latin Grammys, di ba? Parang, di
mm,
ba, Grammys, nanay Grammys, pero we also have the Latin Grammys, which is really just focused on the Latin artists. So we hope to do the same for our VisPop artists.
mm. So for this, you have the VisPop coming up on August 27, if I'm not mistaken, no, at the
Yes.
Ayala Center, Cebu. Can you talk
Yes.
about this batch of artists who are finalists in this year's VisPop?
I think it's because of the pandemic that a lot of the finalist songs that we have this year have that sort of reaching for timelessness. They dili siya mga viral TikTok songs that you would expect from
Mm.
a contest, but they're really reaching for something timeless. No, so we have songs about parenthood. We have songs about parang reaching for one's dreams, but at the same time in the context of like suffering. So we have different kinds of songs this year that really parang they want to talk more about what's relevant to everyone, or what's relatable to everyone. So I'm really excited for everyone to hear the new VisPop songs that we have this year. We hope to have a listening party by August 7. That's first Saturday, I think first Sunday of the month of August. And then from then on, we will be releasing the songs as well. So we hope to see everyone also on August 27, which is our VisPop Finals night at the Terraces, Ayala Center, Cebu.
Mm-mm. So yeah, can you give everyone a sneak peek of what to expect in the next in this pop finals night itself, and invite everyone to join?
VisPop Finals night will be a celebration of everything Bisaya. So if you're in Cebu on August 27, don't miss being there at VisPop X Finals night. You're sure to find a lot of things to learn from, a lot of songs to enjoy. It will be a free show, by the way, so everyone is really
Mm.
invited. You can just show up at Ayala Center Cebu and watch the show. Just to support our artists, we are selling shirts, but the show itself is for free, so everyone is invited
Mm.
to watch.
Lastly, sorry, I forgot. For those who have not yet heard this pop songs or explored the genre or this rock also, what's a good place to start?
A good place to start, I think basic is Missing Philemon. No? So you
Mm.
would get that the roots. I would acknowledge that the Bisrock phenomenon was really one of those who planted the seeds where Vispop grew out of. So Missing Philemon, Aggressive Audio, those artists are, I think, and then when you go to the Vispop catalog, I'd encourage you to listen to Jewel Villaflores, the songs of Lourdes Maglinte. She also goes by the artist name Lourdes. Listen to the songs of Jerica Chudurico. She has an album forthcoming right now. And the songs of Okaraga, the three of them are actually songwriters from Vispop. We have also other artists like Mandawi Nights, Jackie Chang, Relden, who's like I'm a fan of Relden. Who else? Kurt Fick. There's a lot. Actually,
Mm.
there's a lot.
And their music can be
I hate
accessed
to
on.
miss a couple of names because these are my friends.
Yeah. But it's just a start naman. You can find them online.
Yes,
But so their music can be accessed on streaming platforms like Spotify and YouTube
yes,
and Apple Music also.
yes. We're
Oh.
working that out that with Spotify to have one channel wherein they can hear all of the Bishop songs because all of these artists are on different places. So we want to put up a like a standard channel in Spotify where they could find all those Bishop artists that we're
Mm-mm.
talking about.
All right. So
Hopefully,
if you're not in Cebu, you can check out their music on Spotify, on YouTube, Apple Music, and go check out the names that Jude mentioned just now. And if you're in Cebu, you can go to the VisPop Finals Night on August 27 at the Ayala Center, Cebu. What time again is the festival?
the show will start 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
But there will be performances before then, but the show itself will start 6 p.m.
And it's open to everyone.
Yes, it's open to everyone.
So go to the Ayala Center Cebu if you want to check out great local Bisaya music, this pop festival. We've been talking to prolific and award-winning songwriter Jude Gitamundok. Thank you for joining us. You've been watching Voices from the Regions.
Thank you, Ryan.